I'm Matt, and it is a very special day here on the Mickey Mouse Club.
That's right. Today we're paying tribute to Mickey Mouse, the most famous cartoon character of all time.
And hey, if it weren't for him, we wouldn't be here right now. That's why we have dedicated today's entire show to the one and only Mickey.
Thanks, guys. I don't know what to say.
Nikki, we said Mickey. Today's show is honoring Mickey Mouse.
Oh, Mickey. I thought you said... I am so embarrassed. I called all my friends and told them to watch the show. I guess I'll go now.
Anyway, let's get back to our tribute to Mickey.
Did somebody say Ricky?
You know, Tate, Mickey is so much a part of our culture that we all think we know a lot about him. But how many of us really do?
And now here's a serious, in-depth look revealing the innermost facets of the mouse behind the myth.
Is it really that serious?
Well, it's not that serious. Actually, it's not in-depth either.
Today on Hollywood Legends, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, Mickey Mouse. I'm your host, John St. John. Since his debut as Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse has entertained billions of people around the world with his films, television shows, books, and theme parks. His trademark ears, high-pitched voice, and never-ending smile have made him a superstar. But what is it about Mickey that separates him from other movie stars? Why is he so popular? Who is the mouse beneath the ears?
Who is Mickey Mouse? Was my first roommate in Hollywood, sure he is. We had an apartment together over on Sunset. I knew he'd be a star the second I saw his profile. All the great stars have memorable profiles. You couldn't get better than his. Besides that, you couldn't have had a better roommate. Mickey was quiet as a mouse. Except for a week before that Steamboat Willie audition. Kept the neighbors up for days, practicing that whistling scene.
Mickey was, how should I put this? Mickey was a method mouse. And at one point he was having trouble finding the motivation to whistle. Finally, I simply said to him, Mickey, you're scared of Pete, and therefore you whistle to cover up your fear. Well, he got it immediately, and from that point on, he became Willie. I tell you, that's what made him such a fabulous actor. He was always such a superb listener. Of course, he always had the ears for it. I've never seen an actor more animated.
Wouldn't happen to have any fish on you, would you? You know, catnip? Oh, well, that's fine. My young doctor wants me to cut back anyway. Well, what can I tell you about Mickey Mouse that you don't already know? Well, let's see, we met at the audition for When the Cat's Away. You wouldn't happen to have any halibut on you left over from lunch, would you? No, that's fine. Well, let's see, we did the screen test together, and, well, we became instant friends. Tell you the truth, I was a little nervous about meeting him, though, you know, the whole cat and mouse thing. Well, it was never a problem with us, though. We got along great. Well, I even used to walk his dog Pluto sometimes down to Hollywood Boulevard. That sure was a funny sight. You know, the cat walking the dog. You can see right there that Mickey's a real generous co-star. He never tried to steal a scene from anybody. Well, right there we're playing rivals.
But only on the screen. See, in real life, we couldn't have been better friends. Yeah. That's some of my best work right there.
As his agent, it's my job to look for scripts that really stretch his acting. Now, Carnival Kid was a real breakthrough because it was the first time Mickey had ever talked on screen.
Head out. Head out. Me. I think one of the things that separates Mickey from other stars is he never got too big for his britches. Or rather, his shorts. I mean, he never locked himself in his trailer with the wheel of cheddar cheese or anything like that. Now, Donald's a whole different story. Doug had a temper on him.
The offers kept pouring in. He was such a star. I mean, Gable and Lombard, Hepburn and Tracy, Mickey and Minnie. Then came Fantasia.
Most people don't know how dedicated he is to getting his roles just right. I mean, Mickey gained near 13 pounds for his part in Fantasia. That's a lot for a mouse. Should have won an Oscar.
He did all his own stunts. He said it made his films more believable. Well, then came the war, and Mickey was the first star to sign up to go overseas and entertain the troops. I was right there with him. It was my job to make sure that he had enough gloves for each performance. See, after he'd do his little song and dance routine, he'd throw a pair out to the boys. Well, they went nuts for it. I was sure the gloves only had 3 fingers and a thumb, but it was for Mickey Mouse, and that's all they cared about. No one was bigger than Mickey Mouse. Not even Bob Hope. Yeah, I am Mickey Mouse's personal fitness trainer for a long time. You see, Mickey come to Body Viola when he getting ready to play Touchdown Mickey. In early films, you notice that Mickey have not many muscles because Mickey is only little tiny field mouse. But when Olaf gets finished with him, Mickey is one pumped up road. Totally fine.
He was into the physical fitness thing before it was trendy. I mean, we'd go out to eat and he'd order lean cheeses and skim milk. Paid off, though. Look at me. Mickey and I are the same age, but I can barely brush my teeth and he can still play quarterback for the Rams. He's amazing, that Mickey. He never seems to age.
Oh, sure, yeah. A lot of people wanted Mickey to run for Congress. We even had these buttons made up that said, put a mouse in the house. There were some constitutional questions about whether or not a rodent could hold elective office. So Mickey just nixed the whole idea. Didn't matter, though, because he had bigger things in mind.
Theme park. That's what he says to me. Theme park. I tell him no one's going to pay money to get sick on the teacup. Do a musical with Gene Kelly. But his mind was made up.
When Disneyland opened, we all figured that Mickey would retire and go work at the park full time. That same year, he dropped another bombshell.
Mickey had been offered the James Dean role in Rebel Without a Cause. And I was pushing for a Fantasia sequel when he told me about the Mickey Mouse Club. Television. I told him he was crazy. Who wants to watch a bunch of kids called Mouseketeers? I tried to talk him into doing a guest spot on Gunsmoke first, but he wouldn't budge. You know, I used to represent Cubby.
He always knew TV would be big. He was what they call, what's the word? visionary. Now look at him, has his own channel. Not to mention theme parks on 3 continents.
If I had to say one thing to Mickey Mouse, would it be, well, I'd have to say, hey, Mickey, how about sneaking me in some of those sardines I love so much? Maybe you could hide them in a tube of toothpaste or something. I'm pretty strict about the diet around here.
I tell him, Bruce Willis keeps calling about doing that Die Hard sequel with you. Call him. At least have lunch with the man.
I say, don't ever change, Mickey. You're one in a lifetime. I hate to bring this up now, Mickey, but you still owe me $12 for the phone deposit on the first apartment. Is that okay? Can we say that?
So there you have it. Mickey Mouse, film star, TV show creator, theme park mogul. A legend in his own time. A star with no equal. Why? Because we like him. This is John St. John for Hollywood Legends.
Hi. What do you think of Mickey Mouse?
He's great. I love him. I think he's adorable.
I like him because he's funny.
I liked him ever since I was little.
He like symbolizes like magic.
He brings the little kid out of me.
Sure, as a kid, sitting in front of the TV with my sister and our little bowl of popcorn, watching Mickey.
That was my first memory, was Annette with her Mickey Mouse ears on.
I used to watch him on television. Even my younger son, he likes Steamboat Willie and all those old cartoons.
So what do you think about Mickey Mouse?
He's my favorite out of all the Disney characters.
And I liked him right away. Because he's just always smiling and makes everybody happy and you just feel like a kid when you're around him.
He's the mouse. He's the man.
Recently, I was lucky enough to have the chance to interview Annette Funicello, one of the original members of the Mickey Mouse Club, at her home in Los Angeles. I'd met Annette before, but since I hadn't seen her in a while, I was kind of nervous and anxious all over again. What I forgot is that Annette can make anyone feel totally comfortable. You'll see what I mean. Annette, I'm here talking with Annette Funicello, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for letting me visit.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. First of all, how are you feeling? We're all thinking about you. How do you feel?
I feel great. I really feel great. And
Great.
From the waist up, you'd never know anything was wrong. I just have a problem walking. And, that's because of the nerve endings.
Right.
And it's that MS thing.
Have the fans been supportive since you announced your fight with multiple sclerosis?
The outpouring of support and love. And I get mass cards and prayers from all over the world. I mean, it's been overwhelming. As a matter of fact, the Disney studio every so often will package up a big, big envelope and they'll send it to me.
Yeah. Were you surprised by how popular your show became?
Yes. Whoever dreamed? I mean, here was a show in the 50s, an hour show in black and white. And no one ever dreamed. No one ever dreamed that a Mouseketeer would become a role model for so many children.
How did you get selected to be on the Mickey Mouse Club?
I was dancing in a little school recital, and Walt Disney was sitting in the audience, unannounced. So he saw me dance, and then later called the dancing school to ask if they could bring in a little dark-haired girl for an audition. And that's the way it happened.
Do you remember the first time you saw the show on television? What was it like seeing the first show?
We were on the road, as a matter of fact. We went out to promote. We were on a big bus. We got caught in a snowstorm. And our show was premiering in the evening. So we thought we'd make it back to the hotel. And we got stuck in the snow. So there was a big delay, and we thought, we're going to miss our show. We're going to miss the opening night of the show. So Jimmy Dodd said to the driver, let's just cruise until we find a home with a lot of bicycles outside. Maybe we can go in and see the show. So Jimmy
home with
Dodd,
a lot of bicycles. Had to mean kids were there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So Jimmy Dodd walked up and he knocked on the door. And he said, "Hi, I'm Jimmy Dodd, and I've got a busload of Mouseketeers." And the people said, "Yeah, right, we've got Mouseketeers." He said, "No, look in the bus. There they are." So they invited us in. We got to see our first show.
And these people
night.
let you come into their home.
And they called their neighbors, "Hey, come on over, we're going to see the show."
Story.
Yeah,
That's so
isn't that
neat.
special?
Now, Walt Disney had quite an impact on my life, and I never even met him. What was it like just being around him and working with him?
He was very supportive of me. I found him to be very shy, believe it or not. And he was just so down to earth, so easy to talk to. You know, I would ask him a couple of things from time to time, like I wanted to change my name. No one could pronounce Funicello. And he said, "No, young lady, you can't change
You can't change your name.
It's very melodious." And no, I like your name.
And what do you think Walt Disney would think of our show?
Ours was a show of the 50s, right?
Right.
Yours is a terrific show of the 90s. And I know that Walt Disney, being so many years ahead anyway, he would think it's sensational. I know he would.
I have to tell you, you've been such an inspiration to me. Who inspired you?
If you're asking me who I respected more than anyone, I, of course, would say my mother. She was my role model.
I know how that is.
Yeah.
My mother's one of my best friends.
Me too.
How do you feel about Mickey Mouse, and what kind of impact do you think he's had on the world?
You know, I think that the name Mickey Mouse, of course, is known all over the world. And Walt Disney had such great insight because he puts a smile on the faces of all of us. And I read somewhere where his wife said, as he was drawing this little mouse, and she said, "Honey, people are afraid of mice. I don't think it'll ever go over." And he said, "Yes, I think this one will." And of course it did. The Mickey Mouse Club means so much to me. I mean, it gave me my start. I owe everything to those ears.
I was trying to think of a great way to close this piece, but then I decided, how are we going to close this piece other than this?
How can we?
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company.
MIC, see you real soon. KEY.
Why? Because we love you.
MOUSE.
Annette, thank you so much. Mwah. For me, talking with Annette was like hanging out with one of my friends. After a while, I forgot all about the camera and just thought about what a warm and neat person she is. Annette, thanks again for sharing your thoughts and special memories with us.
If it wasn't for Mickey Mouse, we wouldn't have this club. We wouldn't be the friends that we are.
Mickey Mouse means to me happiness, and it means to me togetherness, because it seems like everyone comes together with Mickey Mouse. I remember the first time I saw Mickey at Disney World. It was a bunch of characters, and we all ran up to him and we started hugging him, asking for autographs, taking pictures.
I think Mickey's image is very happy and joyous because, everything you see on TV is Mickey's the good guy.
All the little kids, even if they're like 2 years old, that's Mickey.
Mickey Mouse makes people smile, especially children.
Brightens up everything. When you see Mickey Mouse, you think of happiness. You think of, everything is just a lot of fun.
You ask any kid in the world who's Mickey Mouse, they know.
When you think of Mickey, you think of, say, America, like an apple pie, that kind of thing.
That's what I dreamed about when I was little, was meeting Mickey Mouse.
A lot of kids have a Mickey doll, and it's something that they can always hold on to, and Mickey's always there for people.
Now let's bring down the house in a tribute to the mouse. Here's Matt and Rhona and the rest of the gang singing Happy.
a long, long time. The love we share will always be a memory. People, good times always come to the back one. It's true. People can have back to this see us again. Yes, they do. Look, oh, baby, together we can show the world what heaven can be together. Happy, 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 free, happy, so we are together. Happy, 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 free, happy, so we are together. Happy, free, it's all that we have that brings comfort together. That we can be enjoying life. It's all that matters to me. Believe in all that we have. Something special to us. Around the garden, good days and the feeling of a good collaboration. Happy, 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 so we are together. Oh, we are happy, 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 so we are together. Together.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. And I
See you real soon.
Why?
Because we like you.
L-O-U-N-C.
Now it's time to see you later. Never gonna fade you though.
Well, leave you with a fun. Nothing but friends and the club scene.
Through the years, double MC's giving up. Cheers, we're gonna make the move. The readers are both rules, so keep it up and keep it in the groove. You take move to the side. The house is packed, yo. What's got it going on? Steve's got it going on.
Funky style.
We got it going on. With the funky style. Let's keep going up. And the house is so wild. What's got it going on?
Funky style.
Steve's got it going on.
Funky style.
We got it going on. With the funky style. Let's keep going up. And the house is so wild. In the house, let me hear you say boom, shaka like a boom. Boom, shaka like a boom. Say boom, shaka like a boom.
All the girls in the house. Let me hear you say hey, hey, hey.
Now MMC Street. What's got it going on?
Funky style.
MMC's got it going on.
Funky style.
We got it going on.
With a funky style.
Let's keep going up. And the house is so wild. What's got it going on?
Funky style.
MMC's got it going on.
Funky style.
We got it going on.
With a funky style.
Let's keep going up. And the house is so wild.
Accommodations for many guests at the Mickey Mouse Club are provided by Disney's Dixie Landings Resort, a family-priced resort in the heart of Walt Disney World.
The Mickey Mouse Club is videotaped before a live audience at the Disney MGM Studios in Lake Buena Vista, Florida.
cool your jets and saddle up, cause the Mickey Mouse Club is taking you to where the fun is. Cool, let's go. It's guest fan, you'll flip when a lucky viewer visits Olympic gold medalist Mary Lou Retton. You ready to work out? Plus, catch a hot new tune from the album MMC.
I just wanna spend time.
Monday on an all-new MMC.
When you turn on the Disney Channel, you turn on the best in movies, specials, and series designed to please every member of the family.
Let's fly!
There's always something for everyone on the Disney Channel.